This is great. Let me take a sip of my coffee.
Oh, damn it.
Watch your mouth. That's not on my pad. Not, not on my podcast, girl.
Freedom of speech.
All right.
Sources of fruit.
Welcome to the Phenol and Penal podcast, morning podcast.
Right.
The
who
most
is
important.
Ann Penal?
Welcome to the welcome to the most important podcast in the world, where we talk about irrelevant things that don't matter in the wrong. Heck, I can't even speak right now. That don't matter in the long run. Today I have guests Rayne and Justice with me. Say hello,
Mug.
guys. How are you guys doing this morning?
Oh, I'm tired.
No.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. How's your week's been? How have your weeks
It's
been?
only Wednesday.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's hump
good.
day. Tell me how it's been so far.
I don't know. I woke up about an hour ago, so I wouldn't know.
And how has it been since then?
Not eventful.
Justice? how's your week been?
Pretty good. I got a lot of stuff to do this weekend because, what is it? I believe Friday. Some friends are gonna come and pick me up, and I'm gonna go down to Tracy, and then
Oh.
I'm gonna stay the weekend there. So
who's picking you
lunches.
Oh. Hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I have today and tomorrow for free time.
That just it sounds a little weird. Just like free time. Like I'm off of
time.
work today and tomorrow. It's okay. It's okay. I have some free time.
I should probably do my laundry soon.
I got some recess. It's time for recess.
Oh, what I'm so excited for, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for summer.
But every day is summer to us because we don't have school or work.
You're right.
Okay. Okay.
I
So,
don't know what that was.
So what are your plans, Rayne,
For what?
for this week?
Eat.
Nothing.
Yeah, same here. I had work. I already told you guys, but I might as well say it again for the podcast. I had work. I work for a staffing agency, I work for a company through a staffing agency. They hired me through a certain one that I probably shouldn't say the name of because I guess I'm representing them. Uh, and I don't want, yeah. Anyways, and so they only call me when they need me. And my boss is like, hey, you're going to have work all this week. And then I'm like, okay, I can do that. And he talked about some machines that I have to clean, and that we're gonna get a delivery into the warehouse from another warehouse, and it's been all dirty and filthy, and I love it. I mean, anyways, the machines are gonna be like filthy, so I gotta clean all of them, and it's gonna be a lot. So, yesterday I got a call from my dad because he works at the same place as me. And he says, hey, I called you because Brad, my boss, is probably going to forget. And, yeah, the machines probably won't happen. So now I'm sitting here recording a podcast with two of my favorite people in the world. So, complete improv. Like, I didn't really write a script. I wrote down one thing that we might talk about. Like the Switch came out, which I might get. Justice, do you plan on getting a Switch?
No.
No, but the most notable thing about the Switch so far is the cartridges. Because when they announced, either they announced or somebody just randomly did it one day, and they're like, and then they just like posted it on the internet. Now everybody is licking the cartridges because they have a very, I forget what the coating is called, but they have like one of the most bitter substances in the world, like a chemical, put on the cartridge, so kids won't eat them and swallow them. And now every single YouTuber or anyone in existence is making a video on how just yummy it tastes.
They're all some bumbling fools.
Good input. So I was thinking of making a video on that and just completely like, oh, let's do a food review. This time it's gonna be the Nintendo cartridge, but then completely switch it up and eat something like dog food or something that looks like dog food. And
I mean, I've eaten dog treats before.
how did they taste?
They didn't really taste like anything. They tasted like how you would imagine dirt tasted like, I guess.
No wonder why they
dirt.
want to eat like human food all the time.
Exactly. It didn't taste like anything. It just tasted like dirt and bread. That's it.
Jeez. Made with real meat.
Bushwang.
Oh no, I'm not talking about like the actual like
Food.
dog treats. I'm talking about like the ones that you just give them, the ones that don't really taste like anything. I tried
Yep.
those.
Like
Yes,
the ones
I
you
know.
give them.
I know exactly
for-
what you're talking about. I know exact treat you're talking about. You know, the one that I've totally tasted, so I know that it doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah. I was severely disappointed. I was like, is this what dogs are forced to eat? I feel so bad for them.
Just give me your little licking real quick.
Please, Justin.
I swear, I will find you and I will punch you with a book.
That's impossible because okay, listen, we need to talk. We need to talk, Rayne. So you're gonna make a glove out of a book. You're gonna cut out a place for your hand, and then you're going to punch someone with it.
It's not hard to punch someone with a book. You just kind of like shove it at them.
That's
No, no,
called
no, no.
hitting them with a book.
No. What you do is you carve like a fist-sized hole, and then you wear it, and then you punch them with it.
That's what I was just saying.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, that's the dog food I was talking about. Have you tried Blue?
That's the company that made my snowball.
Yes, the snowball that you're raping everybody with.
Yes,
Wait,
exactly.
what?
Do you not know what ear rape is?
It sounds a little something like this.
Okay, please, Justin. Jeez, it's about timing, Justice. Eventually, it just gets repetitive. Stop. I can hear it.
Oh, can you?
Anyways,
That's okay. This is just me holding my mic. Okay.
all right, that's
this
all right.
mic just picks up everything.
I just heard like you getting ready to say something.
No. I would never do such a thing.
All right, I have a topic that we can kind of go off of. I think it would be really
Lay it on me.
fruitful. Justice, I'm gonna ask about some very awkward situations. Because those are always fun to hear about. So,
awkward
do you
we
know of
talking?
any awkward situations in recent time, or at least in high school, or whenever, actually?
Yeah, I got a couple. So it was this one time I was over at a friend's house. And by the way, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, it's perfect. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
Okay.
Well,
Tell the
first, let
story
me
like
put
you're
my mic
talking
down.
to me.
Okay, so it was over at our friend Taya's house.
Okay.
It was her and her brother's birthday party and everything. And some of her family, they were like leaving. So I shook the guy's hand, and then I went to shake his girlfriend's hand, and then she didn't see it, so like I kind of turned away. But then apparently she went to go like back to try to shake my hand, and then like I guess she saw me like flop on the floor, and I'm just like, oh, why am I such an awkward human being? And I guess she heard me say that, and she started laughing at it, and then she's like, it's okay, and I'm like, oh, she heard me.
Oh, she heard you. You actually said that out loud.
Yeah, I said it out loud.
That's probably one of the worst things you could do.
Yeah.
Just like how, like sometimes in the room, everybody is aware that it could be awkward or it is awkward, and so everybody just kind of tries to play it off. And then there's always that one person who says awkward, and just it wasn't awkward until then. You've had that happen, right?
Not a good time.
Like one time, our friend Colin was driving me and Justice home, and we're in his car, and so was his brother, his sister, and his sister's boyfriend. And they were arguing and everything, and his sister was cursing at him and everything, and just kind of being rude, very rude, because he gives her rides all the time. And I mean, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not in their affairs, I guess. I'm just a bystander, but I see just like Colin does a lot of nice things, and he pays for his own gas and everything, and he just, he helps them out, but they seem very not very grateful, and so they were being pretty rude towards him. And then I'm just sitting there in the back being silent, and then Claire's like, oh, and then there's Nick in the back, he probably feels really awkward. And then I just tell her, I'm like, it wasn't awkward until you said that.
I remember that.
It's like, honestly, you don't, once you point it out, it becomes a lot worse. But I'm pretty sure that like pointing it out only makes it less awkward for yourself because you're the one to call it out.
Yeah.
So it's basic. I'm pretty sure she was just saying that so she didn't, I don't know, look bad or didn't feel bad. Because I can understand that. Like whenever I do something like terrible, or not terrible, but just awkward, terribly awkward. Like if I'm in a conversation and I accidentally spit, because like I'm a very salivaic human being. I don't know if that's a word, but I get real juicy sometimes when I talk. And I would talk, and then I would just kind of gleek, and I'd be like, oh, gross, I just spit everywhere, and then continue. It's like, because I know it's super awkward whenever somebody like is talking, and then I see them spit. It's just they're that guy who spits while they talk and are completely unaware of it. I want people to know that I'm aware that I just spit. I am aware. I am completely aware of my incompetence to speak like a normal human being. What about you, Rayne? Back to awkward situations. Do you have any public situations or anything that has happened in recent time, or something that has just lingered with you that you can recall?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you. I said your name.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I mean, let me think. I don't really interact with people, so I don't have
Even
many
with
stories.
friends. Anything.
Oh, with friends. Okay.
I said
So-
even with friends, not specifically with friends, but anything, just anything on the horizon.
Okay, I remember one time I was at the library, and one of the tiny little shelves that they had, it fell on my foot because some idiot was walking past and just decided to push the thing like over
I'm sorry. And where was this again? I'm sorry, I didn't
at
catch
the
that.
library.
At the library. Okay.
Hmm. And this idiot who was walking past the cart thing shoved it, but it like got caught on the rug or whatever, and it fell, on my foot, and I screamed a profanity, and the librarian walks from her desk to go to see who screamed that to yell at whoever it was or tell me to shut up. I bolted out of the door and I end up tripping on the way out, and so she caught me.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Did you tell her why you were screaming?
Yeah, and she called my parents to come and get me so they could
Oh my
yell at me to not scream in a library. I was like, wow, okay. Like, I'd like to see you have a cart full of books fall on your foot. Like, you do the same thing.
Oh, shush, 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 shush. You need to be quiet.
But needless to say, when I tripped, I face planted so hard, I had a bruise on, like, the left side of my face for about a week.
Oh, I just
Jeez.
thinking of what I was saying, like quiet. Justice, I think I don't know. I want your opinion on this. A new song for our band, Full Body Throttle. Quiet Agony. Do you think it's too edgy?
I like it.
You like it?
I like
But
it.
it's not as funny as the others. Okay, so just to
I mean, we have to have that one off song.
Okay, all right.
Eventually.
Okay, so I'll write it down right now. Quiet Agony.
Oh yeah, by the way, Rayne, me and Nick are in a band.
Yeah. We I guess I don't have to talk to the audience or whoever's watching for this one. I can just explain it to Rayne. Great segue.
I like
You know what?
segues.
Rayne could be our like what is it? It's usually like it's a I forget what it's a tool in storytelling where it's a character explaining to another who has no idea what's going on just so
A
they
narrator?
what?
A narrator?
No. It's like a character specifically used to explain to the reader.
An interpreter?
Maybe. It's like this guy's name is Jeff, and he has no idea what's going on. And then one of the main characters explains to him what's going on, and because he's explaining it to somebody, the reader sees that, and it's like that character Jeff is specifically used so like to be in the reader's place.
Okay.
It's like a segue or something. Anyways, our band that we thought up of, I don't know if I spoke English there, is called Full Body Throttle. We said if we ever made a band together, which none of us even know how to play instruments.
Actually, I can play the trombone.
I can play the butt flute.
I'm pretty good at that
I'm
one too.
taking lessons on playing the guitar.
I'm pretty good at the ocarina.
Okay, continue.
Well,
You
this
start-
band, it's just so we could come up with names like that would be freaking awesome song names. So the band is called Full Body Throttle, and it's because if you turn the bass up super loud in like a song or whatever, it like reverberates throughout your entire body, and it just envelops you in an experience, and that's what Full Body Throttle is.
When did
And
we
also
come
it
up
sounds
with
funny.
Yeah, it kind of does.
this? When did we come up with Full Body Throttle?
Oh gosh, we didn't start writing songs down until like a little while ago, but Full Body Throttle probably since I met you, which was you recall it was like freshman year, right?
No, it was like beginning of sophomore.
Right. Okay. So we're 1 year out of high school, pretty much. And so yeah, quite a while ago.
Cool.
So we came up we came up with so many songs throughout the years that we could have in our band in the album, and we haven't written any of them down until recently. And so here's our first album. I guess we have 3 songs written down so far. It's one of them is Music Makes It Happen. And it's about I think it came up with, I forget how it came across. I think we were talking about like people listening to music while having sex. And like or getting turned on by music, and it's like, dude, music makes it happen. That's what Full Body Throttle does. It reverberates throughout your entire body, essentially giving you a musical massage. Then there was a play on Panic at the Disco that we came up with.
Yeah.
It was because I misheard Justice say something, and I just told him, I was like, "Did you just say panties in the Discord?" So that's another one, panties in the Discord, because we're using Discord to talk right now. So like, I'll just somebody post a picture of panties. I don't get it. So this song is probably about finding a girl on Discord. Like specifically, like you're playing Minecraft, and they have they have team speech, they have Discord, and so they invite you to the Discord, and you figure out the server admin is actually a really nice lady. And then you kind of just she puts in asterisks, pennies drop. And that is what Panties in the Discord is all about.
I swear
When-
to God, you are
when-
going to be the death of me.
when that girl that you've never met in real life, that girl you met over Minecraft, just gives you that sign, those asterisk marks, and you know it's coming. In between those asterisks, panties hit the ground. And then there's Quiet Agony, which is about getting your foot hit with a bunch of books and then getting kicked out of the library. What do you think the lyrics would be for that? It wasn't my fault. This guy came around and he put a bunch of books on me.
Push up to the ground.
Push it to the ground. Push it to the ground.
And then it just like epic guitar solo. We still like the main guitar riff from Through the Fire and Flame.
Yeah.
We just use that.
No, it's Quiet Agony. So, oh gosh, my voice just cracked. It's Quiet Agony. It's Quiet
What?
Agony, so it'll be very quiet at first. It'll just be like, you know, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. and then it just at the very end, it just does ear rape. It's like, ah! It gets louder and louder.
Real quick scream. No, it's just a real quick scream like what you just did.
Yeah. It just cuts off and goes to the next song, and then the listener is just left with what? Excuse me?
Like, excuse you, sir. What
But
the hell was that?
See, the thing is that they'd probably be used to it because Full Body Throttle songs are an experience.
Excuse me. Hey.
Excuse me.
That's how Quiet Agony is.
Yeah.
It's just very.
Excuse me. And it plays that. It's like, excuse me, I wasn't trying to be loud. This guy pushed a bunch of books on my foot. The librarian came over. She saw me trip on the ground. And all that was left was, I got kicked out! Anyways. Oh, jeez. So awkward situations. That's funny. That's good.
Oh, dude, you want to know remember it wasn't really so awkward, but remember it was one of your birthday parties. It was like when I first met Brooke and Nikki.
Yeah, yeah.
The vegetable joke.
Oh my gosh. Should I tell it, or do you wanna?
You can go ahead and tell it.
Okay. Well, Rayne, you're a segue again. Justice is a fan of a girl in our group. Hopefully, she doesn't watch this video.
I swear.
And I was a fan of another girl, but that's a whole different story. And we're playing.
I think I know.
Oh yeah, that's right. But that doesn't matter. What does matter is we were playing a game, like a game show, from Rooster Teeth, a YouTube channel. I love them. Their official Rooster Teeth game show on the spot, and we tried doing it. It was all right, but it was kind of a fail. But the point is, we're all like gathered in a room, so we're telling stupid jokes. Eventually, it just kind of devolved. And Justice, do you remember exactly how it came up? Were you just telling a random joke to get points?
Yeah. Someone was like, I think you pointed to like, quick, tell a joke or something in like this amount of seconds or something like that, and then it just happened.
Yeah, I mean, there was more to it, but it was like you just told you looked at Nikki, and she what was she just shaking her head, or was she just looking at you?
She had like the most disapproved like look on her face.
Should I say her name? I already said her name.
Care.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so she just looks so just done. But that was also the first time she met you, and she sometimes, you know, it took a while for her to get warmed up to me. And so she didn't get our humor at first. But then there was also that one time when we were in the wheelchair and we were acting like freaking iDubbbz. Me and Christian were like, oh gosh. And that time, the girl I was a fan of, I was just like, please forgive me for my humor. And she's like, I don't care. And, well, yeah. So that was an awkward situation. Oh yeah, I haven't even told the joke. It was like, what's the hardest part about eating a vegetable? The wheelchair. Right? Or something like that. I probably butchered it.
Yeah. No, that's it right there.
Okay. Yeah. And those kinds of jokes, it's like rude, but if you're I can understand if you're like, because that was the first big time I was merging groups of friends. And okay, well, I guess somebody else is joining the podcast. Here we have guest Lingding or Kim.
Here comes a new challenger.
New challenger.
I
Lingding.
haven't slept in like a day or something.
Okay, then
Well,
you could
then
just
go to
listen. You
sleep.
could just sit back
What's
and
happening?
we're
a lot of
recording a
stuff.
podcast. It's been going pretty good actually.
Oopsie.
Anyways, so okay, she muted.
Kim,
That's all
Kim,
right.
you don't have to mute. It's fine.
So back on track. About the vegetable joke, right? That was just an awkward situation, I guess. Now,
like, and that was and keep in mind, this is the first time I met those two.
oh
And
right.
It's just like one of them had like just the surprise look of like, that is so evil. Why would you say such a thing? And then the other one is just like, I don't approve of this.
That's
Like,
right. That's right. But then later on, I remember the girl I was a fan of. We'll just call her what should we call her?
No.
Okay, yeah, you know what? That's fine. So,
Okay, alright.
she were playing on the spot, so like I don't even know how to explain the game, but she had to uh, start with a letter T to say something either funny or no, say something that goes along with the story that we're trying to create through the alphabet. And so it was like an alien attack or something, and she was like, "Throw all the babies!" And then another one was like, child hunting season. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she was getting a big influence. Yeah. And then oh geez. Oh yeah, that reminds me. So that was the first time I was merging a group of friends. Or like those two groups, a group of my church group and then my my group of friends from school. And so it's understandable that like Nikki would be a little because it's just you could say the same you could you could say the same exact jokes today and they probably wouldn't be offended. It's just like
then.
it's like kind of like with our group, we say gay a lot. And we say it so much that it's lost its negative connotation. Or well, I guess to some people it's not negative, but you know what I'm saying. We use it so loosely that it just lost all meaning. And so we say it a lot. But if we were to go into public and say stuff like that, or meet up with another group of friends, they might look at us weird, and it's understandable. But then, getting mixed into the group of friends, over time it just loses meaning. And so, that brings us to another awkward situation with my brother at church. Remember?
Oh, just this last Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah. He was hanging out with us. So he nice name on Discord. He was hanging out with us last the night prior. I think it was Saturday, because Sky and Eli came over, and so he was used to I guess he was used to our use of the word gay, even though we didn't even really use it that much. He was just enveloped in our humor, and since he doesn't usually hang out with a lot of his friends, very rarely does he hang out with his friends. He enjoys hanging out with my friends a lot, and so he took our humor, but it just came off naturally in church. He was just like, "Nah, that's gay," and then Justice jumps up and just slaps him. And I say jump up because Justice is much shorter than my brother.
I mean, I didn't have to jump, but I wanted to.
Yeah, but you did like a freaking slam dunk on him. You did a slam dunk, boy. And I asked him afterwards, because he said he was still embarrassed while he was in the car, because he was trying to explain to Nikki, like, he was like, "I'm sorry, like, if I, like, came off, like..." Yeah.
Oh!
He was apologizing, because he was like, dude, he was saying, like...
Oh, he didn't know I was, like, joking?
No. He knew you were joking. Just as much as everybody else. He knew that it was mainly because he knew what he said was could have been offensive to people nearby. Could have been, like, just like, really? Why would you say that? So, in the car, like, or walking away, he was like saying, I'm used to these guys and their humor, and so she was like, "Yeah, it's fine," and blah blah blah. And we got into the car, and she's like, "Yeah, Nathaniel's saying, yeah, I'm still embarrassed, cause I didn't mean to say that." I'm like, "Dude, it's fine. and then I was like, "Wait, is that why you didn't do anything to Justice, or like when he slapped you, or you let him slap you?" And he was like, "Dude, I didn't even see it coming." And yeah, but then I was like, no, I get that, but what I mean is that's why you didn't really say anything afterwards. And he was like, yeah, like I was still like kind of like, he instantly caught himself. He knew it was kind of a weird thing to say where we were. All right. Yeah. So that's my
No.
brother's awkward situation that happened very recently.
Oh, man.
So that was pretty great. It's always though he's my brother and I feel for him. I'm like, oh, because I bet a lot of people there felt awkward. Did you feel at all awkward?
When he said gay?
Yeah.
No.
Oh well, I did just because I felt for him mainly.
I
But
was just kind
you
of
know,
like, hey, we're in a church.
hey, come on, bruh, come on, come on. Rayne, what's your input on this?
What?
Have you just been listening?
Yes, exactly.
Or have you not even been listening?
I did, and then I just stopped. All I heard was you guys talking about like some awkward incident with someone saying gay, and I don't.
It's weird because it didn't even amount to anything.
It didn't.
It's like it's almost like we in ourselves, or Nathaniel in himself, you know, saw the connotation of what it was, I guess, and saw that it could be a problem, but really it wasn't. That's what an awkward situation is. It's not crazy bad, but it's just enough to get you in that uncomfortable zone. So you guys want to hear my story?
Yeah.
In awkward situations. I don't know how long we've been going for. Let me check. I don't know. I don't even know the time, so I should start. Oh, it's been going for 37 minutes now. Almost 37 minutes. So I don't think I'm going to even edit this video because it's a podcast. So that's what I wanted it to be. So I'll probably just render it and everything.
Did I miss anything? My Discord like disconnected.
No.
No, you're fine.
I mean, you missed the most important podcast in the world, which I'm probably going to call it.
How did I miss it? I've been here the whole time.
You just said you cut out.
Yeah, it cut out for like 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Okay, listen. If you miss the coming of
missed
Christ
my-
for 2 seconds, don't you think you would miss out a little? That's how important this podcast is.
Well, okay.
Well, no,
sorry.
I can't say that.
I'm sorry.
Kim.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Kim. Unmute your mic.
I've been okay.
That was so creepy. Just the way you said it. Just unmute your mic. Just do it.
Kim, what are you doing?
So trying to get her to unmute.
London.
Oh my god,
Shut up.
Okay. She's still alive.
Okay, so
Okay.
are there any other?
Hold.
There's like
Okay, hold.
I
hold
can't
your
think of
thought.
anything recently that we've shared.
Anything recent?
Oh, for me recently. Okay, I got this.
Hold on. I'm gonna go do some laundry real quick, so I'll be back.
Okay, then I'll just talk to Rayne. Another one bites the dust.
Run while you can.
Rayne,
what?
okay. Do you have your license?
No, not yet.
Oh, that's right. You way too young. No. So I was driving my car. I was driving my grandma's car because I live
Uh-huh.
with my grandmother right now. And I was driving her car, and she was like, "You need to put some gas in. It's almost empty." And she gave me $20 to put gas in. And usually I offer to put gas in, but she's like, "Nah, it's okay." And so,
Is that how she talks?
no, she actually sounds like a normal human being. I'm just gonna use that for the story, cause it adds a little something, you know.
Yeah, I know.
So I took the car. I forget where I was going. Oh yeah, I was going to a doctor's appointment. Was I? Yes. Wait, no, I don't know. I think I was going to a doctor's appointment, but I was I was late anyways. So I was like, no. I'll put in gas later, because the car wasn't almost empty. It was like halfway. It was half full.
Mhm.
And so I went to my doctor's appointment. They were like, "You're insured." Okay, I just died for a second. Your insurance is not. You are not covered today. I'm like, okay, bye. And then I left. I went to get gas, and then since the car was half full, I never really thought. It never came to mind while filling up a car that you could fill up the more, I put in $20, so I was like, it never occurred to me that it could overflow, right? So I'm like, dude, $20 will $20 in, because I've always put in $20 whenever I got gas. I'm like, $20 in, let's go. And so I'm like, 20 on 6, 20 on 5, or whatever. And then I open it up. Not only was I parked, I feel so embarrassed whenever I get gas, because I have to park a certain way. Like, I feel like everybody's looking at me like, oh, look at this idiot. Look at this little freaking moron. But I parked way too close to the gas pump. I was like, you know what, good enough. And then I go in, I give them the money, and then while I was in there, I thought the coworkers, like, subconsciously, I thought the coworkers saw me parking. And so I got a little flustered. I got a little worried. And then they were like, one guy was like, "Is that one open?" to the other coworkers, and they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, so could it be not open?" Anyways, so I gave him 20 on 5. I go outside. I go back outside, and then I start pumping the gas. And it goes up to like $14 out of 20, and then it stops. I'm like, what the heck? And I kept trying to push it. I kept trying to flip the switch or pull it on the gas pump and put in more, and then it would squeeze out a little bit, like maybe 25 cents worth, and then it would stop again. It would like delatch. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then so I was like at $18, and I was like, okay, just a little more, and I kept just pumping it and pumping it. Like, I was like, I'm so close to 20, and then just a bunch of gasoline just squirts out, and it gets all over my pants. There's just this huge spot on my pants that it's just covered in gasoline, and it's spilling. And I'm like, oh, because I thought the gas pump may have been empty there, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Because I'm pretty sure they all take from one source. But anyways, because what was going through my mind is they were saying like, is it closed or whatever? So I thought maybe, there was something wrong with it, and that's why I wasn't pumping. No, my car was just full. And so, in the midst of pumping all that, it never occurred to me that it could be full. So, yeah, I just kept. So it gave me time to be like, no, there's still air left, but if you keep pumping it, air pressure is just gonna blow everything out. And I didn't take the hint, and so I got gasoline all over my pants. And then it was like, get your change inside. I'm like, do I have to? Because I have gasoline all over my pants, and I'm super embarrassed. Nobody really saw me. I was like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna drive off. I keep the change. Then I was like, you know what? No, let's just go. And I went. Nobody saw it really, because there was a counter, so you couldn't see my pants very well. Got my change, and I left. And the whole ride home, which wasn't too far, because it's just like a couple blocks down to the place I live, and the whole ride home, it smelled like gasoline in the car. And then I got home, and I was like, "Hey, Grandma, so something happened." And she's like, "Oh, Grandpa must have put gas in the car last night." I'm like, "Yeah." And she was apologizing, and I'm like, "No, it's my idiocy." And that's my story.
Very smart.
That's why I hate
Just very
putting gas
slow
in the car.
clapping.
At one point, I refused to put gas in the car for my mom, because she was like, either you need to put the gas in the car, or you can't take my car. I'm like, I can't. Do I have to? And I know I'm using her car, but it's like, gas stations. It just makes me so nervous. And I was like, okay, well then I'll just use my grandma's, and so I switch. Yeah. Yep. That's my story.
was
I
a
have a
very-
lot of embarrassing stories. Lots of embarrassing stories.
I mean, I almost died one time. Not literally dying, but almost.
What do you mean? Tell me.
Almost got hit by a car.
Please
The
explain.
amount of
Make a
times
narrative
that's
out of it.
happened.
Like I do. Like I never get to the point. So make a narrative out of it.
Okay, well,
On a dark and stormy day, with lots of light, and it wasn't very dark or stormy.
It was actually
No,
quite
it
the
was like-
opposite.
it was in midday, and I was walking to the store, and I didn't wear like bright colors because at the time it was still that stupid time change thing.
All
and it was
right.
dark early in the morning.
That was a legit voice crack. All right. I was just saying, all right, right. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, anyways, since it was still at the time where it got dark pretty early, my idiot self decided to be like, no, I'll just wear like grays and blacks so no one can see me.
Did you hear that, Justice?
Okay, you heard that too, right? You heard that too.
Oh,
Your mic like spazzed out or something just now, Rayne.
Oh God.
You sounded like
Okay.
a record that started like skipping.
Okay, so keep going, Rayne. Keep going.
Okay, anyways, I decided to wear all black clothes because why not?
I'm not
Like,
on a game right now.
and so when I was walking across the street, since barely anybody looks where the hell they're going, they just keep going and doesn't matter what happens. Some dude in like the smallest car ever. I think it was almost like a like ones you would see at like a kid's place, like Funworks or something. Those types of cars. But they were just speeding, and it was like an old man in one of those cars.
Right.
And they just decided to keep going, and I thought they would stop,
Oh,
but every single time that I would wait for them to go, they would start to go and I started to walk.
oh, I hate
And at
those.
one point, they sped all the way up until the actual, like, front bumper of it hit my leg.
Oh, jeez.
Like, they slammed on the brakes as soon as the front bumper hit my leg, and I was like, I almost just died.
You know, my stepbrother, I'm pretty sure it was like right after school. He was walking, and it was completely his turn, but somebody was turning, like it was like crossing the street, and then it wasn't there right away, and so they hit him. They hit him pretty hard, and so his shoulders were screwed up for the entire summer, and he had swim. And so his entire summer was just screwed up, until finally he got the settlement money. He got like $3,000 and bought a gaming PC. So I mean, good. I mean, like, it would have been good for someone like me who really doesn't care about sports. I'm like, ooh, nice PC. It was like pain and suffering money, which is controversial in some ways, but still, it screwed up his entire summer. So like, it made up for it. He had to go to therapy, like physical therapy,
Oh, gosh.
and like his shoulders were pretty messed up. And
That sucks.
I gotta cut off this podcast because we're almost to 50 minutes, and usually people will probably leave after 10 if I'm lucky. So this has been the
How
most
many people
important
usually
podcast.
Watch this thing.
What?
How many people usually watch this?
This is the pilot episode, so I don't know.
What is that?
It means the first episode. This is the first time I'm doing this.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm just gonna see. I have like 40 some subscribers on YouTube. Very little. Very little. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
And thank you for joining me, Justice and Rayne. You have been very good.
Suck a wink.
Okay. You've been actually, I think this is probably one of the most successful tries we've done for something like this, huh, Justice?
Have we actually?
Yeah, yeah,
Have
yeah.
we actually? Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah,
we tried live streaming.
Yeah.
So.
No. Well, there was live streaming, and there was also like a while back when we lived in my most favorite house with a giant backyard. And we were in my room, and we were sitting on the beds, and I had Joy, and we were trying to talk about.
Oh yeah,
talk about
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And me and you are not very good at acting or like really face cam or anything really when it comes to YouTube. Usually our voice just devolves into something else. It's like,
hey guys, it's Super Gamer 69XX.
XX Trigger Horse XX here.
yeah. But I think this has been pretty good because it's just us talking. So I like it. I think we should do this again. So this has been the most important podcast in the world. I am Phenol Penal. This is Justice and Rayne signing off. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Now, if only I remember how to